Hi, I'm Autumn. In the spring of 2022, I got rid of 98% of what I owned, converted my Nissan Sentra into a teeny tiny home. I took my work on the road with me and I traveled the West while living in my car. A year after I embarked on this adventure, I adopted Chloe and we explore these lands together. My last video was a sit and chat video in which I shared updates about Chloe's medical situation, changes to posting frequency, and the path of my upcoming upgrade. Stay tuned. In today's video, Chloe and I take you along with us as we stealth camp for 1 month around Washington. We share stealth camping tips, the reality of it being exhausting, but we share the incredible beauty and experiences that make the exhaustion worth it. Cheers from Blaine, Washington. I don't prefer to stealth camp. However, without stealth camping, I couldn't have spent a month in the greater Seattle area. I find stealth camping to be very exhausting. What is stealth camping, for anyone who's wondering? It's essentially when you are living in your vehicle in places that you're really not supposed to. You sneak in, and the ideal is you don't want to disturb residents. You don't want anyone to know you're there. That's the nice thing about my car. Nobody thinks I am sleeping in my car. I prefer to wild camp. That all being said, I really wanted to experience Washington. And also, the hot temperatures of the summer sort of required I went to the coast, where there really isn't dispersed camping. You either need to go to a campground or stealth. Chloe and I, we are at the furthest north dog park in all of America. We are like just not even like a mile from the Canada border. Excited to be so close. You know, isn't it funny? There's something about extending ourselves, being on the edge of identity. I'm an American, and here I am right at the edge of the American border, and I want to cross over. I want to extend that identity. You know, I mean, I'd still be an American, of course, but it's sort of like just crossing the line. Yum. That's Canada, right over there. I cannot believe how beautiful it is here in Washington. And there's these incredible mountains. I'm like, are you kidding me? It almost doesn't even look real back there. Those mountains back there. I'm at the ocean and I got the mountains. Like, what is this? As I'm here, I'm like, I think I want to stay for a month. But then I just might get the urge to go, you know, somewhere else again soon. And that's the gift of this life. Is the best part of the morning. What an experience. It's so worth it. And having a dog has made everything better. Sure, it's made some things harder. That'll probably be a video in the future, how having a dog made things better and harder simultaneously, but worth it. Cutest thing when Chloe chews on her little bone thing. Like, why are you so cute, dog? Hear that? Where the heck am I? Where did I come to? I came out to this island, which I was told was more of like a quiet island. There's fighter jets like flying right above my head. Chloe and I did find the coolest dog park we found yet, but oh my goodness. I'm trying to do voiceovers. We'll see how long these jets are flying. They're so loud that when you plug your ears, it still hurts and you feel the sound in your chest. This is my chapstick, by the way. Okay, here one comes. I'm gonna try to get it on film. Let's see if I can. Oh my goodness. That is so intense. I'm surprised Chloe is just so chill with it. She was just at the dog park. She's just playing away. Oh, check it out. I got some nice porta potty views in my background. I can show you in the beautiful islands off the Washington coast are these wild porta potties. Hi, cutie pie. We are practicing some off-leash recall. I don't really know what I'm doing. I need to watch some YouTube videos on this, but this is the perfect park for it. Chloe's favorite way to play. It was a magic moment when Chloe met Bella. They became instant best friends. Whoa! Hey! Hi, guys. Just a random street corner in Washington. That's what this place is like. It's so pretty that your street corners are like paradise. I gotta give a big shout out to a really incredible woman I met up in Washington. Her name is Cheryl. Her sweet little doggie is Bella, who you just saw Chloe having a time of her life with. One of the things, you guys, that is probably hardest for me about this lifestyle is that I'm on the move so much that I'm not building the amount of community that I want. And I've got incredible community in Flagstaff. That's my consistent folk. I travel around and visit my loved ones. And when I do make new connections out there, also like I met an incredible woman named Deb up in Coeur d'Alene with her dog Noodles. Like, I want to be able to hang out with friends that I meet, you know? And so when you live so far away and you make these friends, it's kind of a bummer not to be able to actually really build connection and community in that way. But I just want to say, Cheryl, I am so grateful. You were so kind and you totally contributed to the awesomeness of being in Washington.
I am scoping out my stealth parking situation and I just went to a motel. It was too small. If there was like some kind of really dedicated worker, you know, who wanted to check everybody's license plates. I'm gonna go check out another hotel. I also scoped out an apartment complex because sometimes if it's a large apartment complex with plenty of guest parking, I don't like taking people's homes guest parking. Oh, there's an emergency room. That could be a possibility. Oh, that's a good apartment complex. I will definitely find some stealth parking tonight. Another beautiful morning, waking up in a hotel parking lot.
In the 16 months that I've been a full-time nomad, I have probably stealth camped a grand total of about 2 months in that time period. And one of those full months was my time that I'm just sharing about in Washington. My preferred locations are a 3 to 4 star hotel. I don't like staying at the really fancy hotels because they're gonna likely have security. And with out-of-state plates in a car that doesn't appear to be lived in, nobody thinks somebody's gonna be living in the car. And thank goodness for my window tints, which make stealth camping really possible. There are 5 places that I've stealth camped in my time stealth camping. Hotels, that's my preferred. In large apartment complexes, city streets, Walmart, and Cracker Barrel. Now, I don't know if Cracker Barrel is technically considered stealth camping because you're allowed to be there. Stealth kind of makes me think like you're not allowed to be there and you slither in and sneak away and nobody knows you're there because you're stealth. What are you barking at? Apparently that is very disturbing. You slept good, huh? That's because you had so much fun with your friends yesterday. This is the office today. I've got my jack recharging right outside there. If I want to go on a break, I have a bench right next to me. Here's my colleague for the day. As I walked through a neighborhood on Whidbey Island, I saw a treehouse in someone's backyard that was bigger than their actual house. There's another wild porta potty at the end of this redwood road. Walking through this lush forest was like free therapy. Hi, cutie. Hi, cutie pie. And I got to practice more off-leash recall with my girl. Back in the day, I played competitive softball. Seems my canine daughter takes after her mama. Hey, Chloe. Hey, my dear. We had this huge emerald park all to ourselves for hours. And several times a day, cruise ships would glide through Puget Sound. Somehow she managed to get that pillow right there. I don't know how she did it, but look at how cute she is. I am so happy. I have been doing the nomad thing for about 14 months, and I've stayed in California, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico. Did I get all the states? I stayed in the Southwest. That's why my channel was previously Sacred Southwest until Chloe joined me and we've expanded our reach. Cheers. That is some low tide. The ferries were canceled as a result of the low tide this morning. I kind of want to go see what the harbor looks like. It looks like the harbor is going to be practically, like boats are going to be on the ground. Look at those mountains. It's kind of hazy today. I don't know if that's from the Canadian fires or smog from being in a metro. Every time I see a traveling carnival, I feel as though I belong. It's gotta be that nomad thing. On that note, here are a few more stealth camping tips. So safety is a huge factor for me. I always scout out super safe locations while it's daylight, so I have a feel for the area. I may even look up crime rate statistics. I don't always do that. A lot of times it's more of just a feel for the area. And I also make sure to park in such a way that somebody won't hit me. You don't want to get just your car plowed into in the middle of the night when you're sleeping and get seriously injured or killed. So I always prefer to park between two vehicles in a parking lot, like a hotel's parking lot. However, if I am parked on a city street, I always park ideally paralleling in between two large vehicles. That's the ideal. If I can't parallel in front of two vehicles, then at the very least, I always, absolute standard 100%, make sure to park basically in front of a large truck or van so that it's a source of protection, and I sleep on the passenger side, which lines the sidewalk. I will not stray from that particular rule. I don't want to get hit in the middle of the night. Look at that dock. It's just sitting right there on the ocean floor. I am really tired and just concerned about my little girl. Her eyes started bleeding at the dog park, so I took her in to the urgent care vet. Turns out she's got a lot of swelling and pressure in her eye. We're gonna be staying where we're at right now for several days while she gets some medication, and then a follow-up to see if the medication is helping. I've been braced, you guys. My sweet baby girl may at some point have to lose her eye. Glaucoma what? We can still be happy as can be even if we got some pain and injury. That's right, we could still roll around in the grass.
know you just love other dogs. You are so social, so extroverted. How did this introvert get such an extroverted doggy?
Chloe and I are not having the greatest walk. See this rocky beach? It's actually really uncomfortable to walk on. It's slanted, it's slippery, and it's rocky. Well, there was a lot of sand when we walked the other way. That tide came in so quickly. I guess that's just part of this Washington land and seascape. I loved seeing the patriotism around the 4th of July. Every home in Freeland, Washington had flags flying high. Whidbey Island had the perfect climate, which guided my destination. Walking through these redwoods was cool and refreshing. Weeks of stealth camping was wearing us out, so we started taking naps. This made me laugh, where we each had pillows covering our eyes. Can you imagine if all it took was a small branch to make us all this happy? I didn't think we were gonna see the fireworks. And I still don't know if we're gonna stay, because I don't want my little girl to be afraid. We'll see. I'm just gonna see how it goes and leave if she's afraid. Let freedom ring. Chloe and I are getting ready to drive to a metro. I don't usually do that kind of thing. But I've always wanted to see Seattle. And I have a dear friend who just happens to be on a layover. He's a pilot, he's on a layover, and what a perfect reason to go into the dreaded waters of massive crowds of people. No, it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to seeing my friend. Gotta have some Mexican food for lunch. That's the Space Needle in downtown Seattle. That's as close as I got to it. Chloe enjoyed her first ferry ride back to Whidbey Island. This is a sedated dog. She doesn't look very sedated, does she? But if she walks, you can definitely tell she would not pass a sobriety test. She needed to be sedated for her medical procedure, and she does not like being indoors. This dog is a nomadic dog, y'all. She's like, what is up with inside? I ain't down, bless you, for inside. This is my dog several hours after sedation and her medical procedure. I barely slept that night as I wanted to make sure Chloe was okay after her first sedation. What I learned from the veterinary clinic is that within about 2 months, Chloe will need a surgery to remove her injured eye. My initial reaction was to zoom home to Arizona, so off we went again on a ferry once more. The ferry, it's a commuting norm for those who live in the area. But to this Arizona gal, it was novel and exciting. Here's what we've done. We thought we were going to go straight to Arizona, kind of make a straight shot for it. Chloe hates hotels. We're roasting out in Yakima, Washington. I'm sweating. We got the AC blasting. Chloe's cooling down. And we're going to drive down the coast. We don't have the urgency of it being an emergency surgery that's needed. We've got about 2 months of leeway with some medication before then. So we are going to take a route that doesn't require as many hotels because Chloe hates them and I hate paying for them. Initially, I was frustrated with myself that I impulsively drove 3 hours to Yakima after hearing the news about Chloe. Initially, I just wanted to be back home in Arizona. But once I calmed down and thought more rationally, I realized there wasn't necessarily a rush, that I could get Chloe's surgery on the road, or that I had 2 months to get back home to Arizona. So, we returned to Western Washington, crossing over the Cascades where emerald forests and bluish turquoise water took my breath away.
Alright, now there's a happy dog. Right? You just gotta get outside. That's all you need.
That's why. Yeah, this is totally why we do this. I would love to stay here for the night, but the high is 81. On we go.
Good morning. Gorgeous park. Way the heck up in Washington somewhere.
I ended up getting into a conflict with these birds. A verbal conflict.
Hey, bird. Yes? Hey.
Go away.
Getting ready for work, where my colleague was sleeping on the job. A floating city on the sea. I am back in my heavy jacket again. Chloe is pulling as usual because she ate through her non-pull harness. This is the second harness she ate through. The first harness she ate through, she escaped and ran into a field of cows. It's really beautiful here. This is one of my favorite places. I've got a number of favorite places, but this has entered the list. Right here, the waters of the Admiralty Inlet met the waters of the Bay of Port Townsend. The collision led to confused, chaotic waters with unexpected rapids right off the shore. All over the Washington area, there are bunkers. There is a strong military presence in this area. A big shout out to all of those who serve. Thank you. It is because of you that we are free.
Let's go see what's there.
Let freedom ring. I quickly learned that I could not exceed a speed limit of 15 miles per hour in Port Townsend. After all, my greatest traffic jams were deer. The architecture in this area of Washington was an old New England style Victorian. Even the hardware store is Victorian. Around this time, my energy was tanking from all the stealthing, but I wanted to trek on. There is so much beauty, and even though I was exhausted, I was happy. I stopped filming as much around this time, primarily because I was in the moment, and because I was exhausted. By the way, this train house park was one of my absolute favorite parts of Washington. As I was driving to the water near Squim, I encountered a tree that had fallen across the road. About 10 of us folks en route managed to break the tree apart enough to open up one lane. I made it to the water just in time for sunset. When daylight nears its end in Washington, close to 10:30 p.m., the skies transform into a canvas of pastel hues. The horizon is painted in strokes of lilac, peach, and rose. I continued on, through emerald and lavender forests, through baby blue rocky shorelines, towards the furthest, most northwestern tip in the continental U.S. Before reaching this point, though, Chloe and I took a leisurely scenic drive down Highway 112, where we stopped every few miles to marvel at the beaches along the Strait of San Juan de Fuca. These shores contain a mesmerizing mosaic of seashells and pebbles. The salty breeze and rhythmic waves were soothing to my tired, stealthing soul. Beyond Chloe there, across the bay, is Canada. Here, in the northwestern tip of America, redwood trails lead to forested, rocky seas. These rugged coastal cliffs are filled with ancient trees. Redwoods lean toward the crashing waves in a harmonious blend of granite and green. Their timeless beauty is Mother Nature's poetry. Every part of this magical forest is touched with the hands of heaven. Even decaying trees stand as sculpted statues among ferns, ivy, and moss. Little Red sits like a ruby jewel among these luscious lands. Even though I'm ready for an upgrade, this lovely little car has been paramount in my happiness. And once again the sun began its descent in squim at 10:30 p.m., this time painting the sky with strokes of amber and tangerine. In the distance, Olympic National Park embraced the fading light as it drifted into night. In our final days, we strolled through more beautiful parks where redwood forests met inlet bays. And I felt happy. I felt peace. I felt connection. And I felt tired too. You know, stealthing for 30 days by this point. I didn't plan to stay in the Port Townsend, Sequim, Port Angeles area of Washington for as long as I did. I left and then I came back because I didn't want to leave. And I was just marveling over the beauty, over the community, over the peace that I felt while I was there. And I spent a lot of time there. It was hard to get myself away. Working from the road is fantastic. I just set up at a park nearby. I let my power station charge all morning. And then, after a day's work, for a walk on the beach.
Oh, she just smiles all the time. You're just a happy dog, aren't you? Yes, my baby. Get it, Chloe. Get it. Get it, Chloe.
I don't know what she's getting, but she's real excited about something down there. More Washington traffic. And just as low tides leave boats and docks on the ocean floor, high tides inundate grass along the beach. I knew at this point that I needed to start heading south. I had, at minimum, a week's drive and close to 2,000 miles ahead of me, so I needed to pace my already tired energy. But it was hard to leave. I fell in love with Washington, especially Whidbey Island and Port Townsend. What a beautiful experience. the way that place can illuminate a sense of who we are. I have so many favorite parts about my time in Washington, but my favorite of all things was the community. The folks in Washington were kind, and I love being around kindness. In Washington, I felt welcome, even as I was sneaking around the cities. In Washington, I felt peace. In Washington, despite the distance, I felt nourished with my connections in Arizona. Stealth camping for this long was hard. I leave knowing I'll need rest, reprieve, and rejuvenation. And that's okay. After all, for less than $1,000 plus some fatigue, I was able to spend a month in this emerald wonderland. Washington, I'll miss you until we meet again. Thanks for watching. To follow our adventures, our upgrade experience, vehicle builds, camping and travel tips, and all things nomad, like, comment, turn on that notification bell, and subscribe.